Hey friends, Zell here, and Maple will be joining and helping me tonight as I show you how I make my dish soap that lasts me about 6 months, so I only have to make it every once in a while. I love that. When I make soap, it lasts a really long time and I save a lot of money doing it. I look for really basic recipes, and so tonight's recipe is coconut oil, lard, which is an animal byproduct, lye, and water. So only a few ingredients and it lasts a really long time. I like to fill it in this coconut bowl so it's completely biodegradable. And I found soap's a really easy thing for me to learn and maintain because I only have to make it every once in a while. I find really simple recipes. I save a lot of money that way, and it's a more sustainable way for me to live. So without further ado, let me show you this recipe. Here is the recipe, so you can pause the video to write this down, but it's very basic. We're going to measure our tallow and coconut oil and melt the oils together on the stove. And then we're going to measure water and lye and mix that together. We either wait for both parts to cool down to room temperature, which takes about 4 hours, so make sure you store this in a safe place where no one can get to it. Or as long as both parts are within 100 to 120 degrees of each other, then you can combine them and blend and pour into your containers. Very simple to do, so let's get to it. Now that I've shown you the recipe, I want to get everything measured out first. And it called for 14 ounces beef tallow / lard and 14 ounces coconut oil. It's equal parts. Now I actually have more lard that I want to use up, so I waited on my kitchen scale and found out that I have 40 ounces of lard, which was 2.85 times greater than the original recipe. So I have the 40 ounces here of the lard and put it in my burner to melt down. I'm going to measure the same parts coconut oil. So for me, that's 2.85 times greater than the original recipe. Time to measure the coconut oil. It's the same amount as the lard. Okay. So let's get the water measured. Make sure that you tare your weight machine so it's not including the bowl in the weight. Okay, I'm at 0, and I'm looking for 28 ounces myself of water here. And there it is. Got the water measured, now we measure the lye. Okay, so I need to measure my lye, and I just want to let you know I bought my sodium hydroxide / lye online. Not sure where you can buy it locally, but I went ahead and measured that in its own container here actually. So I've got everything measured and now we'll get them combined. Now that I've got my burner going, melting those oils down, I need to put the water and the lye together. I actually do this outside with safety goggles and gloves on. This is the most dangerous part of making soap, is that when that lye touches the water, it's this instant reaction and it heats up the water extremely quickly. It starts steaming immediately. And if that touches your skin, it will burn your skin. So it's important to wear gloves and eyewear, and I actually take this outside. I'll mix the lye and the water outside and leave it outside for about 10 minutes as my oils are melting on the stovetop, and then I'll go back outside and retrieve my lye after it's cooled down a little bit. Okay, so we've got two things going on now. I've got the oils liquefying on the stove, and I have that lye water mixture outside cooling down. Once this is totally liquefied, you turn it off, and you want to combine the lye water mixture with these oils, but it has to be around the same temperature. So there's two options. I like to do the hot option, and I have a surface temperature thermometer that tells me the temperature of liquids. So you can combine your lye water mixture with these oils as long as it's within 100 to 120 degrees of each other. If you don't want to get this tool, then your other option is to wait for both liquids to come to room temperature and combine them at that point. That will take about 3 to 4 hours. So you have those two options to do your soap all at once with this tool, or to wait for it to come to room temperature. And in that case, you need to wait to combine the two for about 3 to 4 hours.
My oils have fully liquefied. It's saying 179 degrees. I don't want to add the lye water until it's between 100 and 120. So I'm gonna come back in about 10 minutes. This needs to cool down. All right, now we're playing the waiting game. I did bring my lye back inside because it's cooled down enough, but it's actually cooling down faster than my oil. So I wanted to give you a heads up that you can microwave your lye to get it back up to temperature. It's a little bit of a dance as we're waiting for this to cool down before we can combine these two things together. So just be a little patient with that. Okay, so I think we're finally there. I had to give it a little bit longer of a wait, but I'm at 120 degrees here and at 122 degrees with my lye mixture. So what I'm going to do is pour my lye in here. And I'm not sure what this tool is called, but this is like a churning tool, and it's going to pulse the liquid.
After some research, this is called a blender immersion tool, which you can find in most stores in the kitchen section.
As you can see, it probably about for 30 to 60 seconds, I'm going to churn it. And to come to trace, what that means is it will just start to thicken up. So churn, 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 churn. Move your liquid around, and once it starts thickening, you're ready to pour it. I've got everything mixed in real good. I'm ready to pour this into my coconut bowls. That's literally all that this coconut soap takes. In 24 hours, it's going to dry hard. It suds up and soaks really well and lasts for a long time. So I just wanted to show you this easy recipe that I've been using for years. However, if you don't want to do this recipe yourself, I do sell this soap on my website. So go to the link in the comments below and you can buy it from me or get the ingredients and make it yourself. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you on the next one.